Hey fellow botany lovers, I'm out here today in the creeks and in the woods trying to locate some elderberries. But before I get started on that, which that will be in another video most likely, I'm not sure yet, but before I get started I wanted to show you guys some things that I bring along with me and some things that I do to prepare before I go out in nature and forage or do whatever I'm doing. So I'm going to get started with that. So the first thing I do is always make sure that I'm wearing appropriate clothing. So I would wear long pants and some kind of boots. You never know when you'll be going across water or through poison ivy or something like that, and you don't want to be stuck in tennis shoes or flip-flops. If you don't have any rubber boots of any sort, then I recommend tennis shoes then and some long socks, and cover your pants with your socks. That will keep any seed ticks and things like that off of your skin and make it easier for you to remove them later. Also, if you know you're going to be trekking through the woods, then you might want to wear a long sleeve shirt as well. And then you can also wear gloves over that long sleeve shirt, like pull them over your sleeve, and that will also help with the ticks. Alright, so another thing I recommend if you're walking through creeks, woods, anything, is a stick. You can bring a hiking stick too, and usually when we're going arrowhead hunting we definitely do that. But today I just picked up a stick and I've been using it to swirl around like so in circles in front of my face. That is for spider webs. You will definitely encounter some spider webs, and so a good stick is always a good thing to have. And then I recommend some books, some field guides. So I keep some field guides always on me. And well, actually, let me start with this. First thing I recommend is your phone with the Picture This app or another plant identification app. I love Picture This. It's my favorite one. It does cost money now. It used to not, but it does now. However, if you are serious about foraging and using plants as food and medicine, it's worth the money. I think it was around $20 a year or something like that, which is kind of a lot for an app, but it's worth it. I've already gotten my use out of it since I paid for it, for sure. So I love that app. That's a really good field guide to have because it's just easy. You don't have to search through pages. But right now I don't have internet, so that app does not work. I can still use the app to take pictures, but it won't tell me what the plants are until I have internet. And that's okay with me, but that's not the only app I would want to have if I'm out foraging. So, or only tool, I should say. So some that I recommend are these. I have these for all free from conservation. Well, not all. Most of these were free from conservation. This one here is Trees of Missouri. It's from the Conservation Department, and it's a really nice little book. Get on here real quick so you can see it, but it's got the leaves in detail and color, and that's free, and that has been a huge help to me as I've identified my trees or learned to identify. And this is Shrubs and Woody Vines from Missouri, which is also free from the Conservation Department. And then let me move that one, that's not what I want to talk about right now. These ones I keep with me all the time, like no matter what, even if I'm arrowhead hunting or doing something else. This one is Missouri's Wild Mushrooms, and that has helped me a lot. And then this is 50 Common Trees of Missouri. And this is a guide to snakes in Missouri. And I keep that on me mostly because we arrowhead hunt, and a lot of times we're in areas like this that are rocky, and snakes like rocky, and they like water, and so we've seen a lot of snakes, and this has been a lot of fun to use to identify the snakes, and the kids have enjoyed identifying them. They usually go away from us, so don't be afraid to go in nature just because you're afraid of snakes. They don't bother you usually. So as long as you're respectful to nature and you aren't bothering them, they're not going to bother you most likely. So just keep a guide on hand in case you need to identify one for any reason. Let's see. And then the Conservation Department also has little thin pamphlets, more like a magazine, like these. This one, I have them upside down. This one's the mushroom one, and this one is Missouri's oaks and hickories. They have some on poison ivy and other kinds of things, and I've used all of them that they've let me have, and they've all been great. And I recommend, if you don't know a lot about poison ivy, to get those publications because it tells you a lot. Like, for instance, it tells you that Missouri actually only has poison ivy. They don't have poison oak or sumac that most people think that we have. I believe poison ivy is in the same family as oaks, but they're but they're not the same plant. And we only have poison ivy in our region. So, at least that's what that said. All right, and then other things I recommend that you don't always have to keep on you necessarily when you're out in nature, but I just wanted to bring it along for you guys. This is one of my herbal books. This is Rosemary Gladstar's Medicinal Herbs, a Beginner's Guide, and it has been wonderful for learning as a beginner. So it's a good one to have on hand. It teaches you how to make all kinds of recipes, along with like just learning how to make tinctures and salves and infused oils and syrups, elixirs, all kinds of things. So it's kind of an overall good book in all the ways. So I just like that book. Rosemary Gladstar is an herbalist that's very well known and very respected. And she's got YouTube videos you can watch, and plenty of herbal books. I love the ones that are specified toward women, men, and children as well. Those are great. So if you have the extra money in your budget, I would get books like that. And get some from other herbalists too, because there's all kinds of stuff you can learn from each person. All right, so that's all I've got on the books. And then I wanted to tell you what else I bring along. Okay, and some things I keep in here are rubber gloves. Just in case, because like today I don't have my long sleeve shirt on, and in case I do need to reach through thorns or something like that, I've got something to protect me. I also keep, I forgot about that. I keep a little container that has a hole in it in case the kids or I want to collect a bug specimen or a worm or something that we want to identify. This was actually, it says no worms because it was part of an experiment we did on decomposition one time. But anyway, this is a knife I bring along just in case I need it. There's some scissors that I use for clipping off things if I need to. This is a multi-tool. It's just got all kinds of little tools on it. And then I keep some paper bags for harvesting leaves and flowers and things. And then I keep a jar of water as a gift to the plants that I harvest from. You can bring all kinds of different things. You can choose to bring eggshells crushed up. I save all my eggshells, and I usually actually have those with me, but I think I left them on my counter this morning as I was cleaning out my canvas bag. But anyway, that's one of my favorite things to bring because it's lightweight. Eggshells I'm talking about. They're lightweight, and I can crush them up into a Ziploc bag, and they don't take up a lot of space. But I usually bring water as well because all plants love water, right? So bring water or some kind of gift for the plants as a thank you present for them giving you something. Things that you could bring would be some extra mulch, like it could be crumpled up dead leaves just to help warm their roots in the winter, or straw, or some other natural form of mulch, or some kind of natural form of plant food, hair from a hairbrush, things like that. Those are some gifts that you can bring for a plant. Let's see if I have anything else in here. Oh, I always keep a little pouch, or like a little baggie of Band-Aids. Oops, is this still working? Okay, it is. A little baggie of Band-Aids and gauze and things like that. And I also always keep on me a compass. I actually love using a compass. This is my little cheapy compass, which works for, when I'm arrowhead hunting, because I don't want it to get, my good one to get wet, so I bring that one. And then this is just like a binocular thing, or a monocular I should say, that is just one-eyed, but it helps me to identify things from a distance, whether it's snakes or plants or whatever. It's just lightweight since it's not a binocular, it's a small size thing. But those are the things I keep in here all the time, and Oh, and then I keep sunscreen, but I don't actually like using sunscreen, to be honest. I don't like the chemicals in it, but I keep it on hand in case we need it, because sometimes it is really hot, and sometimes we do remove some clothing that would have otherwise protected us, so I bring it just in case, but we don't use it very often. That lasted us all summer for sure, and it's still quite full. So those are the things I keep on hand. And did I cover everything? Oh, and then I also bring a canvas bag with me if I know for sure I'm foraging. Sometimes I bring the bag, or most of the time I bring the bag, almost always, but if I want to keep it light and I want to ditch this bag, I will at least bring this when I'm foraging. So I'll keep my gift for my plant in there, and I'll keep some paper bags in there, and then maybe a couple gallon Ziplocs just in case. And then my big canvas bag, of course, for harvesting, because things like elderberries, for instance, the way you harvest them, it just works better to use the bigger bag. So those are the things I bring with me. And now that I've told you all that, I think I'm going to go try to find some elderberries. Hopefully I find some. It's been kind of busy in the Tisher house lately. I've been really thinking a lot about you guys, and I know that you guys are itching to make some elderberry syrup with me, and I'm so excited to do so too, but it's just been hectic lately. But now things are settled down and I'm able to do that with y'all, and I'm going to get out here today and find some more elderberries just so I can show you guys how to identify them to make sure you're using the correct berries in your syrup, and then we'll make some syrup tonight. Alright, so thanks for watching. Also, if you have anything that you do when you're harvesting or foraging, or things that you bring along in nature, post those in the comments, because we're all learning, and it'd be awesome to have your guys' input as well, because everyone will be reading all the comments and learning from those. So let us know what you guys do, and if you recommend bringing something else. And if you have any really good, like, what is your favorite type of book? Like, if you have an herbal book or some kind of book on natural medicine or something that you absolutely couldn't live without, post that in the comments too, because a lot of us are starting new and there's a lot of books to choose from, and it'd be awesome if we had some good advice. So only post the ones you would definitely recommend for a starter when you only have a budget of, say, less than $100 to spend on books. Which 1 or 2 books would you recommend someone buy? Okay? And ditch all the others. I know there's a lot of good ones. I couldn't live without any of my books, I feel like, but there are just a few that I would definitely not ever want to go without. So post about those in the comments. Make it easy for everybody. Alright, I'm going to get started on finding elderberry, and I'll talk to you guys in a little while.